Hi, I'm Deb Jackson, Executive Director at Old Town Playhouse, and I'm here on the set of the Christmas Schooner with our director of the Christmas Schooner, Karla Fishburn, and we're very excited to tell you about this play. Welcome, Karla.
Thank you.
What drew you to directing this show?
Back when I was in Chicago in 2001, I was trying to be a stage manager professionally, and the Bailiwick Theater asked me if I would like to stage manage this show after I'd stage managed one of their other shows, and I knew nothing about it. And I said, sure, and they put myself and my now husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, Bill Fishburn, and a mutual friend of ours, and we were a team of 3 stage managers for the show. Didn't know anything about the show, and as we were practicing and rehearsing and then going into the actual production of it, it just absolutely became essential in my house to have this show as a part of our lives. So the heart of the show is just absolutely gorgeous, and I've been trying to somehow bring it here because it is just such a wonderful show, and I feel like this community would be really not just accepting of it, but it would really flourish in this community. So
It's always special when we can do a holiday show at holiday time, but this one also has local flavor. It's actually based on a true story, and something that happened right on our shores or off our shores, so makes it even more special.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The Rouse, it's loosely based off of the Rouse Simmons, but there are a number of different Christmas schooners that had sailed from mostly the UP down to Chicago taking Christmas trees. And so this is loosely based off of all of that. The Molly Dune, which is the ship that we sail on, never really existed, but it is based on a lot of other ships that all went down and down to Chicago and took the trees down. The Rouse Simmons was something that happened more in I think it was 1920s, and that is a large tragedy. And I want to say recently, in the last 10 years, they finally found the ship, and you can see a really cool YouTube video where they were doing documentary style, where they were talking about going down and looking at it, and you can see the trees still lashed on the ship and in the hold and stuff. And it's really a special thing.
Well, on talking about special things, on opening night, we will have guests from the Coast Guard, and the captain of one of the ships that does still transport trees. And from what I understand, they actually lay a wreath in the water as they pass over that spot every year.
Yes, absolutely.
So it really makes that special.
It does. It does. It's an absolutely amazing story. The lakes, especially Lake Michigan in November, are really treacherous. And the fact that these people in wooden boats, not steel boats, nothing like that, but in these wooden boats were able to go out and risk their lives out on the sea, not because they were going to get lots of money for it. It was literally because they wanted to see the smiles on people's faces and bring joy to people that didn't have that same joy, and they had the traditions, or they remembered things from their childhood, but they didn't necessarily have it. And you see how traditions from one culture to another got not intermixed, but you start to marry things in. So it's a really interesting, it's really interesting thing, and the Coast Guard, that they still do that, is absolutely amazing.
It is truly amazing. So this show really embodies the holiday spirit and what that means, and how we should really share that spirit and look at it. And not to be a spoiler, but one of my favorite lines from one of the songs is that our blessings are not ours to keep, but we should pass them on, something like that. And in that spirit, you came up with a great idea, which we have pulled together, and that's to have a guest nonprofit, a guest charity at each of our performances.
Yes.
So we can highlight them, we can share their information. They will be in our Schmuckle area for people to talk to.
Absolutely.
So really trying to share that spirit broadly in the community. And then overall, the Father of Fred Foundation will be collecting winter wear.
Yes.
As you said, the lakes are cold and the land is cold too in the winter. And so they will be collecting winter wear, socks, hats, gloves, always particularly looking for children's things, even jackets, that kind of thing.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
So we're trying to, a great idea that you had, and thank you for coming up with that, but really trying to share that holiday spirit outside of our walls and within the community. So that's just super.
It's wonderful that we are all able to collaborate and really help each other out and lift each other up, I think. Because I think if we lift them up, they will also be lifting us up as well. And it's all about community and really serving everything for the community together, because that's what every single group is all about.
And this is such a generous community here, and there are so many nonprofits that probably there's some people haven't heard of or whatever, so this is just a great way to share that platform.
Yes, absolutely.
Especially at this time of year.
Yeah.
So as I said, we're on the stage, and the set is still being built, as you can see, and we are in what is called Tech Week.
Yes.
And would you tell us a little bit about what happens, what is Tech Week and what happens? And I'm sure I'm sure you have sleepless nights at this point, but I know it's also going smoothly. So tell us about Tech Week.
Tech Week is all about really bringing all the elements together. Prior to this week, a lot of things like the lights or the sound, or even sometimes the orchestra, mixing all that stuff together, it's all been separate. So you talk about one thing with one person, one thing with another person. You might even talk about things together, but talking about it and actually doing are two different things.
Right.
So my main focus is, as the director, is building a show that actually has a story and that can be translated out to the audience in a way that the playwright has intended. And so I do a lot of focus myself with the actors, but I also talk to all the other production people and give them my ideas as to what I'd like. And then they are really, really imaginative people. And for the most part, they'll run things past me and see what's going on. But sometimes what looks great on paper doesn't work as well in real life, and you don't know that until Tech Week. So there's a lot of fine-tuning and adjusting, and the cast getting used to everything, because it's very different to rehearse something even on stage or even with the basic set. Then all of a sudden you've got the lights shining in your face, and you've got sound effects going, and you've got a mic or that is working or one that's not, and then you've got an orchestra. You got to try and get used to how the conducting is going. There's a lot of patience involved. One of the things I've been telling all my cast and crew this week is keep your patient pants on. So it's just about finding ways to work together at this point.
Well, as most people know, the Playhouse is a busy place, and we use every corner of it. So between several shows, rehearsing, all of the young company activity, the time that your cast really gets on the stage is not minimal. A lot. And this is when it comes together. Maybe the first time that they're wearing their costumes, or having all of their props, or having the pieces on the set to really stand in the right place. And it is a team atmosphere. I was here. Tech Sunday is the Sunday that kicks off Tech Week, and I was here on Tech Sunday, and I saw a moment where the stage manager was giving some directions, and then you must have been out in the audience area, because she yelled, "Is that what you wanted, Karla?" So, So it's really when everything comes together, and so it's fun. And the costumes, as always, are beautiful. I was up there yesterday.
Gorgeous.
And it's so good.
Yeah, and I think the actors really feel good in them. They look very confident, and just the costumes are beautiful. She did a great job with those.
Yeah. So there's many special things about the show, but another one that I think is really fun is there's kids in the cast.
Yes.
You've double cast some parts, so there's really an opportunity for more kids to participate.
Yeah.
And you have some families that are performing together. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure. So one of the families, we have a couple that have moved back from downstate somewhere. And I believe Cheryl had done stuff here before in the past. I'm not sure.
Long time ago.
Yeah, it was a while. And before she moved downstate. And now she and her husband are involved. And the really cool thing is that she was a music teacher, and she actually vocal and directed the show with her middle schoolers.
Oh my gosh.
Down there. Then we also have, within the main group of the main characters, there is a family, the Stossel family, and there is a grandfather, a father, a mother, and a son.
Oh, that's so great.
And the mother and one of the sons, because we've double cast that role, one of the sons are actually mother and son. So we've got Ashley and Eli Nugent, and they are just phenomenal in that role. So is the other young man, Jude. They're just amazing.
Yeah.
And the kids have been just a joy.
Oh, they're always just a treat.
Absolute joy. Lots of energy, lots of questions, as some of them have had other experience either with young company or school productions, and some of them have never stepped foot on a stage, never had sung in front of anybody until they came to the audition. So they have really come out of their shells, and they're just amazing.
I was telling you that, again, on Tech Sunday, I was standing out in the audience area, and it was very dark. And I knew there were some people around, but I wasn't sure who. And there was a scene happening with the father and the son. And there must have been one of the double cast children behind me, because he was also saying the lines. And I'm thinking, is there an echo in here?
Yep. He was practicing just to make sure he had it down.
Yeah.
And I thought it was phenomenal. And that was his idea. And I thought it was great.
It was super, just super.
It was absolutely wonderful.
Anything else that you want people to know before they get their tickets for the show?
Well, it is a very, very heartwarming show. It's very funny. There's a lot of really funny parts. It is about a family, both chosen and blood related. And so it's about that kind of interaction with people and with your community. The other thing to know is that it deals with all kinds of things, a lot of happiness and joy, and there is some sadness in there too, but how do you get past that and move on and find ways to continue to do good in the world? And so you will leave feeling uplifted. You will leave feeling like life is good, and that this is a really good Christmas feel show between family and then the giving, and then also how do you deal with the things that are hard to take. One of the characters, I believe it's Gustav, the grandfather, says in the show that if you accept the joy, you also have to accept the pain. And so this is one of those shows that's going to make you feel all kinds of feels. So and
really great messages and perspectives, life perspectives and feelings that really go across all religions and just, people in general. So it is really a holiday show for everyone. Please come join us. It's going to be great. We do open the Friday after Thanksgiving, so maybe those relatives that you have in town and you don't know what to do with them, bring them to the show. It runs through the middle of December. We've actually added in a couple, there's several matinees because we've added in some shows. So please come join us. You can get tickets on our website at oldtownplayhouse.com. You can also call Jim, who I affectionately call Santa's helper in the box office, and he can help you get your tickets that way as well. So we really hope to see you this season at the Christmas Schooner. Thank you, Karla.
Thank you, Deb.